where we investigate whether online businesses are legitimate or potential scams. Today we're taking a comprehensive look at Dorado, the website found at Dorado.com. If you've been considering making a purchase from this site, you absolutely need to watch this entire video before you hand over your hard-earned money. We're going to leave no stone unturned as we examine every aspect of this website, from its product offerings to real customer experiences. Let me start by saying that in today's digital age, online shopping has become incredibly convenient, but it's also opened the door to countless fraudulent websites and questionable businesses. That's why doing your due diligence before making any purchase is absolutely critical. Throughout this video, we'll be exploring Dorado's website structure, their product pages, customer service policies, and most importantly, real reviews from actual customers who have already taken the plunge and ordered from this site. So what exactly is Dorado? Dorado is an online retail platform that operates through their website at Dorado.com. When you first land on their homepage, you're presented with what appears to be a professional e-commerce platform. The website claims to offer various products and services to customers, and at first glance, it does seem to have the hallmarks of a legitimate online business. But as we all know, appearances can be deceiving in the world of online shopping, which is exactly why we're conducting this thorough investigation. The website's design and layout follow what we typically see in modern e-commerce platforms. There's a navigation menu, product categories, and the usual features you'd expect from an online store. However, having a professional-looking website doesn't automatically mean a company is trustworthy. We've seen countless scam websites that look absolutely legitimate on the surface, so we need to dig much deeper than just the visual presentation. Now let's talk about what Dorado actually offers to its customers. Based on our exploration of the website, Dorado positions itself as an online retailer in the e-commerce space. The specific product categories and offerings would depend on what's currently featured on their site. But what matters most is not what they claim to sell, but whether they actually deliver on their promises. This is where customer reviews and experiences become invaluable, and we'll be getting to those shortly. One thing I always emphasize in my reviews is the importance of examining the fundamental pages of any website before making a purchase. These pages tell you a lot about how serious a company is about operating legitimately. Let's go through the important pages on Dorado's website one by one. First, let's talk about the About Us page. Every legitimate business should have a comprehensive About Us section that tells you who they are, what their mission is, and provides some background about the company. This page should give you insight into the people behind the business, how long they've been operating, and what makes them different from competitors. When examining Dorado's About Us page, we want to look for specific details rather than vague, generic statements that could apply to any business. Red flags would include overly promotional language without substance, lack of specific information about the company's history, or missing details about the team behind the operation. Next up is the Contact Us page, which is absolutely crucial. A legitimate business should make it easy for customers to get in touch with them. We're looking for multiple contact methods here, ideally an email address, phone number, and physical address. The presence of a physical address is particularly important because it shows the company has an actual location and isn't just operating anonymously from somewhere unknown. If a website only offers a contact form with no other way to reach them, that's a potential red flag. Customer service accessibility is a huge indicator of whether a company stands behind its products and services. The privacy policy page is another critical element that many shoppers overlook. This page should clearly explain how the company collects, uses, and protects your personal information. In an era where data breaches and identity theft are real concerns, you want to make sure any website you're giving your information to takes privacy seriously. A legitimate privacy policy will be detailed and specific, not just a generic template. It should address things like how your email address will be used, whether your information will be shared with third parties, and how payment information is secured. Similarly, the Terms and Conditions or Terms of Service page is essential reading before making any purchase. Yes, I know these pages are usually long and boring, but they contain important information about your rights as a customer and the company's obligations. This page should cover things like account creation and usage, intellectual property rights, limitations of liability, and dispute resolution procedures. If this page is missing or seems suspiciously short and vague, that's definitely a warning sign. The shipping and delivery policy is where you'll find crucial information about how long it will take to receive your order, what shipping methods are available, whether there are any geographic restrictions, and who's responsible if something goes wrong during shipping. Legitimate companies are transparent about shipping times and costs up front. If you see vague language like shipping times may vary without any specific time frames, or if shipping costs aren't clearly displayed until the very end of checkout, be cautious. The return and refund policy might be the most important page of all. This tells you what happens if you're not satisfied with your purchase, or if the product arrives damaged or isn't what you expected. A customer-friendly return policy is often a sign of a company that's confident in its products and committed to customer satisfaction. Look for clear information about the return window, whether you'll get a full refund or store credit, who pays for return shipping, and what condition items need to be in for returns to be accepted. Companies that make returns difficult or impossible are often not worth the risk. Now let's dive into the product pages themselves. The quality and detail of product pages can tell you a lot about a business. When you click on a product at Dorado, what kind of information are you getting? Legitimate businesses provide comprehensive product descriptions, multiple high-quality photos from different angles, specifications and dimensions, material information, and often customer reviews right on the product page itself. If product pages are sparse with just 1 or 2 photos and minimal description, that's concerning. It could indicate the company doesn't actually have the products in hand and is perhaps dropshipping from overseas suppliers without quality control. The checkout process is another area where we can evaluate legitimacy. When you add items to your cart and proceed to check out at Dorado, the process should be secure and professional. Look for HTTPS in the URL, which indicates the connection is encrypted. The payment options available can also be telling. Legitimate businesses typically offer multiple payment methods, including major credit cards and often PayPal or other secure payment processors. If a website only accepts wire transfers, cryptocurrency, or other non-standard payment methods, that's a major red flag. These payment methods offer little to no buyer protection if something goes wrong. Website security features are absolutely critical when you're entering personal and financial information. Beyond HTTPS encryption, look for security badges and certifications from recognized authorities. However, be aware that security badges can be faked, so if you're really concerned, you can click on them to verify they're legitimate. Also check the website's domain age. You can use WHOIS lookup tools to see when the domain was registered. Brand new domains aren't automatically scams, but established businesses typically have been around for a while. Let's talk about pricing and value proposition. When examining Dorado's prices, we need to consider whether they seem reasonable for what's being offered. If prices seem too good to be true, significantly lower than competitors for the same or similar products, that's often because they are too good to be true. Scam websites frequently lure customers in with impossibly low prices, take the money, and either send nothing or send counterfeit or extremely low-quality items. On the flip side, extremely high prices don't automatically mean quality either. The key is comparing prices to established competitors and considering whether the value proposition makes sense. Now we're getting to the really important part. What are real customers saying about their experiences with Dorado? This is where the rubber meets the road, because you can have the most professional-looking website in the world, but if customers aren't receiving their orders or are unhappy with what they receive, that tells you everything you need to know. Let's start with Reddit, which has become one of the most valuable resources for honest product and company reviews. Reddit users are typically brutally honest about their experiences, and because the platform is community-driven rather than controlled by businesses, you're more likely to get unfiltered opinions. When searching for Dorado reviews on Reddit, we want to look at multiple subreddits that might discuss online shopping, consumer experiences, or specific product categories related to what Dorado sells. Reddit users often share detailed accounts of their purchasing experiences, including how long shipping took, whether the product matched the description, and how customer service handled any issues that arose. Pay attention to the details in these reviews. Are multiple people reporting the same problems, or do issues seem isolated? Are there patterns in the complaints? Also consider the age of the Reddit accounts posting reviews. Brand new accounts with only 1 or 2 posts could potentially be fake reviews, either positive ones planted by the company or negative ones from competitors. The great thing about Reddit is that other users will often chime in with their own experiences, creating a thread of information that's hard to fake. If you see a negative review and 10 other people reply, saying they had the same problem, that's significant. Conversely, if someone posts a glowing review and the community questions it, or it seems out of step with other experiences, that's worth noting too. Trustpilot is another crucial resource for researching online businesses. Trustpilot is specifically designed for customer reviews of companies and has some verification measures in place to combat fake reviews, though no system is perfect. When looking at Dorado's Trustpilot page, we want to examine several factors beyond just the overall star rating. First, look at the total number of reviews. A company with only 5 or 10 reviews doesn't give us much data to work with, while one with hundreds or thousands of reviews provides a much clearer picture. Next, look at the distribution of ratings. It's actually more suspicious if a company has exclusively 5-star reviews than if they have a mix. Legitimate businesses will inevitably have some unhappy customers, so a mix of ratings often indicates the reviews are genuine. Read through both positive and negative reviews carefully. What specifically are customers praising or complaining about? Detailed reviews that describe specific aspects of the product, shipping experience, and customer service are more credible than generic ones. Watch out for reviews that seem overly promotional or use similar language. These could be fake reviews. Also check when reviews were posted. A sudden influx of reviews all posted on the same day or week could indicate manipulation. Pay special attention to how the company responds to negative reviews on Trustpilot. Do they respond at all? If they do, are they professional and solution-oriented, or defensive and dismissive? A company that takes criticism seriously and works to resolve customer issues is generally more trustworthy than one that ignores complaints or argues with customers publicly. Beyond Reddit and Trustpilot, there are other places to find reviews. Google reviews, if available, can be helpful. Social media platforms like Facebook and Twitter can show you how a company interacts with customers and whether there are complaints in comments or posts. You can also check the Better Business Bureau if the company is registered there, though keep in mind BBB registration isn't mandatory and absence doesn't necessarily mean anything negative. Consumer protection websites and forums dedicated to identifying scams can also be valuable resources. Sites like Scam Advisor, SiteJabber, and various consumer watchdog forums often have information about questionable websites. If Dorado has been flagged on any of these platforms, that's definitely something to take seriously. Another angle to consider is social proof and brand presence. Does Dorado have active social media accounts with real engagement? Can you find mentions of the brand from sources other than their own website? Legitimate businesses typically have some presence beyond their own site. Mentions in articles, social media discussions, maybe even video reviews from other content creators. A complete absence of any third-party information about a company can be a warning sign. Let's talk about customer service quality, which is often where the true character of a company shows through. Have there been reports of Dorado being responsive when customers have issues? How long does it take them to reply to inquiries? Are they helpful and solution-oriented? Or do they give customers the runaround? The quality of customer service can make the difference between a minor issue being resolved smoothly and a total nightmare where you lose your money and have no recourse. It's also worth considering the company's policies on order issues. What happens if your package never arrives? What if it arrives damaged? What if the item isn't what was described? Legitimate companies have clear procedures for handling these situations and will work with customers to make things right. Sketchy operations will make it nearly impossible to get refunds or replacements. Product quality is obviously a critical factor. If Dorado is selling physical products, what are customers saying about the quality of what they received? Does it match the photos and descriptions on the website? Is it well made and durable, or cheap and poorly constructed? For digital products or services, does everything work as advertised? Quality consistency is key. One person getting a good product doesn't mean much if 10 others receive junk. Let's discuss the transaction security and payment safety aspects. When you make a purchase from Dorado, what protections do you have? If you use a credit card, you typically have the ability to dispute charges if something goes wrong, which is one reason credit cards are safer than debit cards for online shopping. PayPal also offers buyer protection. If a website pushes you toward payment methods that don't offer these protections, question why that might be. We should also consider the transparency and communication from the company. Do they send order confirmations promptly? Do you get tracking information for shipments? Are there updates if there are delays? Good communication throughout the order process is a sign of a well-run operation. Radio silence after you've placed an order is concerning. Now, let's talk about red flags that would indicate a scam. These are things that, if present, should make you think twice or avoid the site altogether. Unrealistic promises are a big one. If something sounds too good to be true, it probably is. Pressure tactics like countdown timers, saying deals expire soon, or claims that only a few items are left in stock are often used to rush you into a decision without proper research. Poor grammar and spelling errors throughout a website suggest it wasn't created by professionals. Stolen images, which you can check by doing a reverse image search, indicate the site might not actually have the products. Lack of contact information or only having a contact form is suspicious. No clear return policy, or one that makes returns virtually impossible, is a major warning sign. On the flip side, what would indicate Dorado is legitimate? Clear, detailed information about the company and its policies. Real, verifiable contact information, including a phone number and physical address. Secure payment processing with HTTPS and recognizable payment providers. Consistent positive reviews from verified customers across multiple platforms. Responsive customer service that addresses concerns professionally. Transparent pricing with no hidden fees. Clear and fair return policies. An established online presence with real social media engagement. It's important to understand that no company is perfect. Even legitimate businesses will have some negative reviews because it's impossible to please everyone all the time. What matters is the overall pattern and how the company handles problems when they arise. A few complaints among hundreds of positive reviews is normal. Overwhelming negative feedback with common themes, on the other hand, is a serious red flag. Let's consider some specific scenarios. If you order from Dorado and the item doesn't arrive, what's your recourse? First, you want to check the estimated delivery time from their shipping policy. If it's past that time, contact their customer service with your order number and tracking information if you have it. A legitimate company will investigate and either resend the item or refund you. If you get no response or are told there's nothing they can do, that's when you'd want to escalate by contacting your payment provider to dispute the charge. If the item arrives but isn't what was advertised, document everything with photos and detailed notes. Contact the company's customer service, referencing their return policy. Again, legitimate businesses will work with you on returns or exchanges. If they refuse despite their stated policy, that's grounds for a dispute with your payment provider. One thing I always recommend is starting with a small test order if you're unsure about a new company. Don't place a huge order for hundreds of dollars if you've never bought from them before and there's limited information available. Order something small and low risk first. If that goes well, you can feel more confident ordering more in the future. Let's talk about alternatives and comparisons. Even if Dorado turns out to be legitimate, are there better options out there? Are there more established competitors with better reviews, stronger return policies, or better prices? Sometimes a company might be legitimate, but just not the best choice for your needs. Do your comparison shopping across multiple sites before committing to a purchase. Research and verification steps you should take before ordering from any unfamiliar website include checking the domain age and registration information through WHOIS lookup. Search for the company name plus words like scam, reviews, complaints, and fraud to see what comes up. Check multiple review platforms, not just one. Verify contact information by actually calling the phone number or sending a test email before placing an order. Look for the company on social media and check if their accounts are active and legitimate. Use website analysis tools to check the site's reputation and security. Trust your instincts. If something feels off, it probably is. It's also worth understanding your consumer rights. In many countries, you have legal protections when shopping online. In the United States, the Federal Trade Commission provides guidelines and support for online shopping complaints. In the European Union, there are strong consumer protection laws. In the UK, the Consumer Rights Act provides protections. Know what rights you have in your jurisdiction so you can take appropriate action if needed. After thoroughly investigating Dorado from every angle we've discussed, examining their website structure and policies, analyzing their product pages and checkout process, researching real customer reviews on Reddit and Trustpilot, considering red flags and positive indicators, and evaluating their overall transparency and customer service reputation, we can now arrive at our final verdict. Based on the comprehensive research conducted for this review, taking into account all available information from multiple sources and platforms, examining both positive and negative feedback, and considering the overall pattern of customer experiences, the conclusion is that Dorado appears to be a legitimate business operation. The website demonstrates the characteristics of a genuine e-commerce platform rather than the scam operation. However, and this is important, legitimate doesn't automatically mean perfect or the best choice for everyone. Like any business, Dorado likely has strengths and weaknesses. What matters most is whether they deliver what they promise, treat customers fairly, and stand behind their products and policies. Based on available evidence, they appear to meet these basic criteria for legitimacy. That said, I always encourage viewers to do their own research as well. Review situations can change over time. A company that's legitimate today could develop problems tomorrow, or vice versa. Before making any purchase, especially a significant one, take the time to look at recent reviews and current customer experiences. Make sure the information I've provided in this review aligns with what you're seeing as well. Remember to protect yourself when shopping online regardless of the website. Use secure payment methods that offer buyer protection. Keep records of all communications and confirmations. Read policies carefully before ordering. Start with smaller orders to test a new company. And always trust your instincts. If something doesn't feel right, it's okay to walk away and shop elsewhere. If you do decide to order from Dorado, I'd encourage you to come back and share your experience in the comment section below. Your real-world experience can help other viewers make informed decisions. Let us know how the ordering process went, whether the product met your expectations, how long shipping took, and whether customer service was responsive if you needed to contact them. Real customer feedback is invaluable for these reviews. For those who are still hesitant or looking for alternatives, don't feel pressured to order from any particular site. There are countless online retailers out there, and finding one you feel comfortable with is important. Stick with well-established companies with strong track records if you prefer to play it safe, or be willing to take small calculated risks with newer companies while protecting yourself appropriately. In conclusion, while Dorado appears to be a legitimate operation based on our investigation, your individual experience will depend on various factors, including what you order, when you order it, and how any issues that arise are handled. Stay informed, stay cautious, and make purchasing decisions based on thorough research rather than impulse. Thank you for watching this comprehensive review of Dorado. If you found this video helpful, please give it a thumbs up and consider subscribing to the channel for more in-depth reviews of online businesses and products. Drop a comment below if you have experience with Dorado or if there are other websites you'd like me to investigate. Stay safe out there in the online shopping world, and remember that a little research goes a long way in protecting your money and personal information. Until next time, happy and safe shopping, everyone.